Yeah, you can feel it in the air when the signals align. Ideas moving faster than the edge of your mind. Cold in the dark, building your agent's pipeline. World rewiring one line at a time. System waking while the city asleep. Thinking deeper than the layers we keep. Agents learning every pattern we speak. Building futures in the circuits beneath. Some see chaos in the climb. Some see history in real time. Either way the tide is in, and the next world's rolling in. There's the evolution of possible, where the improbable turns logical. Whole new rhythm in the night, and the future's looking audible. We alive in the middle of it, right where the shift begins. Fear and wonder in the same breath, standing at the edge of what's next.
Hey, baby! Happy Wednesday.
What do you say, Ray?
How you doing on this Wednesday, hump day?
I feel like we haven't talked in a couple weeks, bro.
It has been a week. Well, it's been a couple weeks for you, yeah.
Yeah.
But you had good things. You had good things going on. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a big week. It's Bitcoin week, man. It's big. It's by year. It's up in your neck of the woods, man, in Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
You ain't never been to them things, huh? You ever been to a
not to any of the crypto stuff. I've been to like obviously different financial thing. Yeah, but not crypto stuff.
Yeah, Bitcoin and the crypto stuff. They used to have big NFT ones, and yeah, it was a little wild. We used to go down to Miami. Miami was a good one, right? But I'm sure Vegas is fun. Yeah, but all good, man. We're gonna get into it because there's a lot of speakers, lot of tension though, a lot of tension.
There's a lot going on, brother.
Well, OG Bitcoin people not happy that it's getting very institutional. You know, a lot of institutions, a lot of government agencies. It didn't used to be like that, Pappy.
Well, what did I tell you, Ray? They weren't making money.
They weren't making money.
They have to make money on this stuff, Ray.
They do. They
got to figure out how they can monetize this thing.
Well, that's what the banks, that's what they're in. I mean, we're hopefully, I don't know. We keep saying it. I don't know if it's ever going to happen.
But Nancy's missing out on her profits, bro.
Yeah, Nancy. There's a bunch of them now. They're all in it, man. Here we go.
Yeah.
My crypto ventures. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Web3 Wisecap fam. To you as well. Thank you, my crypto adventures. Appreciate you joining us. Yeah. Hey, good evening, Web3 Wise guys. The charts are speaking, but most are not listening. That's right. Powell's mic drop. It is. He didn't do nothing. And I think this is his last Fed chair as the Fed chair. Yeah. I think
read his next line, Ray. Rich says his mic drop was no drop.
Was no drop. That's right. There you go. My bad, GW. That's right. And thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. Yeah, it is. No drop. Nothing happened. Just staying even, like nothing's going on. But this was his last go round. Yeah. I believe in June, Warsh, the new one, will be in. It's kind of Trump's pick, so we'll see. But thanks for joining us, GW Rich. Appreciate you. And there he is, Monster Apex. Right on. Yo. Good to see you, bro. Yes, it is. What do you think crypto fear and greed is, Pappy?
The last time, I want to say 2 weeks ago, was 22. How was it last week?
It went up a little bit. We were in the 30s.
Oh, I don't think we're in the 30s. I think we're in the 20s, high 20s.
High 20s, okay.
27,
I'm gonna go low 20s. Yeah, I'm gonna go low 20s. Oh, look at high 20s. Look at you. See, look at this. Last week we were in 46.
Oh, 46. Damn.
We're bullish. Yeah, very bullish, right? Crazy.
I didn't look a lot. It was a busy week for me last week. I mean, was the crypto market kind of moving a little?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, we got up to, I think, like 79, little in the, almost 80, almost breaking.
Okay.
80. And then we pulled back, like I think right now we're 75 something, right? But yeah, man, it's very flat, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, well, I feel like even the market doesn't know what to do. It's all this oil thing, and so I don't know that crypto follows that at all. But that's where the uncertainty is there.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, Bitcoin 75, high 75, and then ETH little Duncan a little lower. But yeah, across the board, all red. But Doge had a little pump, but then dropped.
There you go.
Yep, good meme coin. But yeah, all across the board, little red. And yeah, it's because, like you said, that war, uncertainty, no one knows what's going on. Yeah. And it's a big play over there. Like they really doing the blockade, man. And that's I don't think people realize that those oil fields, it's not like a water faucet, Bappy. You don't just turn them off. Yeah.
Nope.
So he's trying to mess up their infrastructure.
He's gonna starve them out. They're gonna figure it out.
If you can't ship out any oil, they're going to run out of room, Bappy. And you can't, like I said, even when you do, you can shut them off. But when they come back online, they start like 10%, 30%, right? It's not just right back. So, they're starving them out. We'll see. But this is a dangerous game of chicken, Bappy.
It is. It is.
But the
world's getting pissed off at him. That's the bad part.
Oh, yeah. That's what happens now when you play this game. I mean, it truly is. Number one, it is like we got some Venezuela oil, we got some our oil, trying to get to be out there and exporting our energy stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a theory going on. If after this, if we do something in the Malaysia area, there's a canal that goes through Malaysia, and if we do something over there, then there is some sort of big plan, right? Like we're trying to really control the traffic ways, right? So, it's wild. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I just heard something today that the UAE broke off from the oil cartel. They're going to do their own thing, and they're not going to use the Strait of Hormuz anymore. They're talking about another plan. They didn't really get into what it was.
Right. I know. Yeah. I mean, even too. That's what Saudi Arabia. They have a pipeline that already goes across the country, and they were starting to pump it out over there. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, just even in the beginning of his term, you've seen him go over to the Middle East. He was going over to the UAE, going over to Qatar, going over to Saudi Arabia. There was already, things in the works, but just crazy, man. Just crazy. But today's the end of the Bitcoin conference in Vegas. Yeah.
It's the end or the beginning?
No, this is the last day. Got
it.
Yeah. It's already been going on, right? So yeah, they've been going on.
How many days do they do it, Ray?
3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days. Yep. But the whole industry rolled into Vegas. Yeah, for 2026 Bitcoin in Vegas. Instead of getting unity, they got civil war between Wall Street and OGs. Bappy, they're not happy. They're not getting along. Yeah. But the Fed had the most dramatic meeting in years. The White House is reportedly walking back its own ban on Anthropic AI. These are just things that we're going to go over because Anthropic. I use that a lot. That's full disclosure as I go through this. Look, everybody, I use Anthropic which is Claude to research all of this stuff, right? It's one of my favorite models to use. And that's another story we're going to get into is the White House and all of that. They're kind of backpedaling, Bappy, because of that Mythos. And I know you missed last week, but Mythos is an amazing new kind of AI system that can find any kind of problems in code, right? And it's not released to the public. Very powerful stuff, man. But
nobody leaked it, Ray?
No, nobody
made it open?
No, it's not open source. It's definitely it's not public, right? It's only to like Fortune 500, probably Fortune 100 companies, right? Because it's super powerful. Like not only can it find bad code, I mean it can do it's pretty good stuff. And that is the reason that they're backpedaling, right? Anthropic is it's a pretty good AI model that they got going on over there. Yeah. But like I said, the big story is the Bitcoin conference, right? And like I said here, this early investor, Simon Dixon, yeah, he's not happy, right? He said early Bitcoin investors, we weren't all about this, right? He was one of the inaugural speakers in some of the conferences back, years ago. But he called this conference is compromised now. Yeah. He said Bitcoin was built to route around all this stuff, the SEC, the FBI, the Pentagon. It was built for that, Bappy. Now this conference not so much. That's all you're seeing at this conference. 50% or more are all of these people that are the SEC, right? The FBI. Kash Patel is there, right? You got the people in the Pentagon, ETFs, treasuries, all of these things, institutional stuff. And that's why, like I said, this Simon Dixon is not happy because you're seeing those. If you ever heard of Bitcoin maximalists? They're hard to talk to. No, they're hard to talk to, Bappy. That's all they talk. It's just Bitcoin, right? Everything else, nothing. All Bitcoin, right? They don't believe in anything else. But like I said, that's the kind of mentality. They're more into, obviously, this kind of revolutionary type stuff. Yeah. But it's just not working. Bro, we knew how this is going to go, right?
Yeah, of course.
There's no way that they're going to just let this just slide, right? They're
No.
going to get, Bappy, you're in the
They
financial.
got to get their pound of flesh, Ray.
They're going to get their pound. It's true. It's true. They're not going to just be like, oh, okay, you guys win. This is great. Yeah, that's not how it goes, right?
Nope.
And as long as you self-custody, right? It doesn't matter that Michael Saylor has $800,000 Bitcoins, right? He's pushing it. He's pushing the narrative. He's getting new users. I don't see what they're talking about with the centralization. Now, like you said, like a Saylor has a lot of Bitcoin. BlackRock has a lot of Bitcoin. The U.S. is starting to have a lot of Bitcoin. Yeah, but it's still a decentralized blockchain, right? So I mean,
yeah.
To each his own. Let me.
Do you ever think they spin off something, a Bitcoin Lite?
Well, there's been several forks. Like there's a Bitcoin Cash, that's an old Bitcoin, back in the day. And when it forks, yes, people do that all the time, Babby. And yeah, there's going to be. We said there's always going to be these two rails. Now, again, who knows how the future works when they start integrating AI and all this stuff. I hope there's a decentralized place, right? I hope there is.
Yeah.
But it's just, you don't know, right? I mean, because they're going to get their grubby hands in it. You know what I mean?
I think there's enough degens and enough technology now, they'll always figure out a way to throw something in a room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But, there were some pretty good announcements, yeah, about what's going on in the space and everything like that, right? It's not just a culture war that we're talking about with, Bitcoin maxis and institutions, yeah? There was news. SEC Chair Paul Atkins unveiled Project Crypto. It's a commission-wide initiative to modernize securities rules and a new token taxonomy, classifying most digital assets as non-securities. That's good because they were kind of getting pushed like that with old Gary Gensler in the other manner. So again, that's a good thing. The Clarity Act markup is happening in May. That's what they say. That's still going through the process, and we'll see how that goes. That's Senator Cynthia Lummis. That's what she said. And the conference had a dedicated panel on the quantum threat, like what we've been talking about, and how Bitcoin is going to handle that stuff, right?
So they feel like they're going to pass this in May, or it's just going to be up for a vote.
Maybe a markup. Where they add things. You know how they do that, yeah. They kind of add there because, like I said, that's the big holdup, especially like I said with the banks and people like Coinbase, right? Coinbase makes a lot off of their fees, right? They don't want to lose that either, right? And they're starting to operate like a bank, right? They do. They just got something, like I said, I don't know what the federal keys are, Federal Reserve, where you can kind of do that stuff, but they're starting to act and operate like a bank. The UAE is the western coast of the strait. Iran is the west. So across from each other. There you go. UAE. Love it. Thank you, GW Rich. But like I said, there's another one. It's in Malaysia. If we do something, if we start going bonkers over Malaysia, then there's something is afoot right there. We're trying to control all waterways. Yeah. But like I said, White House chief cryptocurrency advisor, major announcement. They keep talking about this, right? He passed this last year, but you really haven't heard anything else from it or about it. Yeah. The one thing I did hear, because I didn't pull it up, but Eric Trump, he was there, and I've heard other people mention it too, that we have over 300,000 Bitcoin for this strategic reserve. And on the books, it does not say that, Pappy. It says something around 230, right? 230, 240, something like that. So I don't know. Maybe we're picking up Bitcoin along the way. I'm not sure.
You'll never know.
Because he said we weren't going to buy it. We weren't going to buy it, but we're gonna do it. But he noted the president signed, like I said, the order last year, and we have since been studying the specific mechanisms needed to implement the plan and necessary legal interpretations to ensure the proper execution. I don't know if I like the word scheme, right? They're working on the scheme, Pappy. But let's just go ahead.
They're always scheming, right? You should know that.
They are always scheming, man.
Yeah.
That's the truth. But I'm going to play a clip. I did pull this, right? This is never to freak people out, right? But literally, you know what a bank run is, right? right?
Yeah.
This guy is, like I said, Tim Draper. He's a billionaire, right? Venture capitalist over in Silicon Valley area, and he's a Bitcoin, that big player, right? So you obviously got to take it with a grain of salt. So yes, he's sounding the alarm, Bappy, that you better get on board or you're gonna miss out. Oops, typo. Iran is the East Coast. Yes.
I knew what he was trying to say.
Yeah, we got you, GW Rich. Right on. Let me bring this down. Hopefully it's loud. If it's not loud or you can't hear it, give me a shake of the head, okay?
I got you.
Yeah, let me get that here. Let me mute myself.
And I started to think about what the future might look like, and something flashed into my mind. My dad came to me and he gave me $1 million bill, and I was about 10 years old. And I went, whoa, $1 million. What am I going to do with $1 million? What can I do with this? This is so awesome. And he says, nothing. And I said, what do you mean nothing? He said, that's $1 million Confederate dollars. The Confederates lost the war to the Unions. All the Confederate money became less and less valuable. Everybody wanted Union dollars. Confederate money inflated, and eventually it became completely worthless. So fast forward to now, there is a pretty good possibility that the retailer starts saying, I accept Bitcoin. And then they start making more money with Bitcoin, as we all do, and we all know. And then the retailer will say, I only accept Bitcoin. And then what happens? There's a run on the banks. Everybody runs and tries to get their money out of the banks and put it into Bitcoin. That can be a cataclysmic event. So what I say to people, I used to say, hey, buy some Bitcoin. It's fun. It's interesting. Might be kind of an interesting thing to hold on to. Now I say, you better hold Bitcoin. If you want to protect your family, you want to protect your company, you want to protect your country, you better have some Bitcoin. In fact, it's irresponsible now for a company to operate and have a big treasury and not have some portion of that, 5, 10, 15% in Bitcoin. Because, well, when Silicon Valley Bank went out of business, we almost saw the domino effect. We almost lost all the banks right there.
So yes, he's talking about bank runs. We've heard of these things, right? But we had that thing in 08. They short them up, right? They're always going to bail them out, right?
Bail them out.
But like I said, that was interesting. Let's just hear him talking about the Confederate money, right? I've seen other Zimbabwe money, right? The Weimar in Germany. You've seen this happen. Argentina's done it. Again, you never think here in the U.S. or something like that. But obviously, you're starting to see all this stuff with going on with wars and all these things. I don't know, man. Sometimes it looks like they're just purposely doing some things, right, to kind of
sure
either crash it or somehow to switch it over, right? So he's just doing a little warning. I don't know what you think of that. Yeah. So,
how he describes it makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. It just happens. That's why we always talk. I know we're more like hyping and shilling sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's those Omega candles, right? All of a sudden, it could just bam, right? And you're talking $100,000 candle.
Right.
That's like I said. You're talking about a system really breaking. I don't know how this is going to look, right? But I know we owe almost $40 trillion, bro. And that's not a good thing. Yeah.
Yep.
But this was in Vegas, everybody. So like I said, there's a whole bunch out there. If you want to see more, there's a bunch of highlights. I have some. If we have time at the end, I'll let you listen a little bit of Michael Saylor because he's bullish. He's bullish on Bitcoin. And he's got some things that he's talking about. But there's a bunch of people, like I said, that were speaking on it. But next year, Bappy, where do you think? Do you know next year where the Bitcoin convention is going to be? Do you know? No?
I think you said it to me.
Where? Did I?
Tennessee,
Nashville. That's right, Bappy. Nashville. So next year, 2027. Only about 3-4 hours from me. So I think I might hang out, right?
You gonna take a trip?
I'll take a trip. I'll drive to Nashville. Yeah. But yes, that's where it will be. Again, in the heat of the summer, July 15th through the 17th, 2027, Bitcoin will be back in the music city of Nashville. So if you haven't been to any of these things, they're fun to attend, good for networking, and like I said, you're just meeting people that are in the same kind of venue that you're into. Yeah, good stuff.
Maybe we'll have to make a mob run there.
Yeah, a little mob run. That's right. Yeah, mob it up. That's right. Breaking, but this is, like I said, this is the U.S. Secretary of War, and they're now, like I said, they're talking about the strategic advantage. This, we've been talking about this for years, is going to start being a digital war, Bappy. This is a digital asset, and people will battle over this digital asset, Bappy, and that's what they're kind of getting into here.
Are we talking like tapping?
No, well, that's a slight battle. I'm talking about full on aircraft carriers battle.
Okay. Right? All right.
Because that's what they're bringing up here. But let's take a listen.
Over the past decade, Bitcoin has evolved from a fringe asset into a matter of national security. Iran has demanded Bitcoin as a toll for transit through the Strait of Hormuz. North Korean cyber actors have leveraged it in ransomware campaigns, and China is believed to be stockpiling substantial holdings as part of a strategic reserve. Just last week, Indo-PACOM Commander Admiral Paparo stated that Bitcoin has direct implications for power projection, and he noted that Indo-PACOM is operating a node on the Bitcoin network in furtherance of that mission. Secretary, do you share the opinion that Bitcoin is a tool to project power, and are there any department-wide initiatives to ensure the U.S. secures a strategic advantage in Bitcoin and combats China's digital authoritarianism?
I guess my short answer would be yes and yes. Long an enthusiast of Bitcoin and crypto potential, and a lot of the things we're doing, enabling it or defeating it, are classified efforts that are ongoing inside our department, which I do provide us a lot of leverage in a lot of different scenarios.
I appreciate that, and I share your views.
Pete's on board.
Oh yeah, well they're all on board. Like I said, that's that's, like I said, the big problem too. I mean, I'm happy that Trump is pro crypto, but I'm not happy how intertwined he got up all into this, right? And some of these guys absolutely, right? That's another thing you're starting to see with Polymarket, right? You see things leak out of there all the time, and over there people are just killing it, right? 30 minutes before we go over to Iran, 30 minutes before we go into Venezuela, all of these things, right? But yeah, no, I mean, we're definitely all about, like I said, the national security and, doing this thing with Bitcoin with the reserve. Yeah. But we'll see, right? It's crazy. But this is another thing, AI crypto disconnect, and Pantera CEO thinks institutions are missing the boat on Bitcoin. Look, and you'll appreciate this. He says, let me get down there first and show you. Yeah, there it is. He said AI companies are trading about 33% above their 4-year log trend, while Bitcoin is roughly 43% below its historical trajectory. And it's saying it's a big divergence, right? It's just not value of what it should be, right? Compared to AI. AI is a little overvalued, and I probably, I mean, because we haven't seen the full, the full deal with AI.
Right.
I guess, it's just not there yet. But the people are investing like it is, and you really don't know what model is what, who's going to be the winner, all of this kind of stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. They're just saying it's a 76-point gap between AI stock valuations and Bitcoin valuations. The big thing too is that's what going to be the biggest utility going forward for crypto is all of this AI agents using it, Mappy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they're all, overvalued doing this kind of stuff too, then you got the things that's actually the financial rails, and it's not as valued as it's supposed to be, I guess, what they're saying. Yeah. But he said institutions are still not here. This is Moorhead's quiet point right here. And he's probably his more important one. He flat out said that the majority of institutions still don't get it. They still don't have any exposure. So if you're bullish, that's a bull case in one sentence, right? The buyers haven't showed up yet. And I agree. You definitely in crypto. We've been here I've been here for a while, Bappy, and it's just never been this mass adoption like I've seen yet. But it's coming, right? Everybody's getting in their little spots. But that's kind of what he's saying. It's It's just not valued like what AI is a little overvalued, Bitcoin's a little undervalued, and we'll see. We'll see if this all gets straightened out. Yeah.
Yep.
And then this is the big news is what GW Rich and you were talking about, right? The Fed leaves rates unchained, right? Unchained. Yeah, it's definitely unchanged. Yeah. But this is the guy's last hurrah, and we will not see him anymore. Right. And I'm not saying the other guy is going to be any better, because he could be a lapdog, man. He might just want to do whatever Trump wants to do. Right?
Yeah, well, that's probably, I mean, that's the way he's a puppeteer. So that's how he wants the people that are underneath him to be. You listen to what I say and you do what I tell you.
Yeah. No, I get it. But, like I said, you're talking about the people who are printing the money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this has a little bit of importance to all of us.
Sure.
Because he will print it, and probably print it into oblivion, right? And that's why, like I said, what the other guy was talking about when we started off with, that's why you would want to be in something like a Bitcoin or some of these other ones that you have confidence in. Yeah. So, it's but there were 4 dissents. The Fed is openly fractured. 3 of those 4 dissenters wanted the Fed to stop signaling that rate cuts could be coming. They want more hawkish stance. The Stephen Moran, a Trump appointee, wanted to cut rates immediately. So he got the Fed that's split between keep tightening and start cutting, right? And I believe, obviously, when this happens in June, they're definitely going to cut. Don't you think? You think?
I mean, that's what everything points to. Whether it happens, I wish I had a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Get on the poly market right now. If you believe it, put your bet in.
It's true. I mean, you can. It's all over there if you think that's where it's at. Yeah. Because you can crush it. That's why I like pulling it. I've been building a lot of cool stuff with my Sarge here, but I've gotten them some partners, man. But it's pulling in great information, data, and all this stuff. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Let's see. GM Pixis, good to see you, bro. Thanks for hanging out on YouTube. Yeah. I didn't stream over an X, so yeah, I just was trying some different things out. But all good. And this is the story. This is what I'm telling you. This is a big deal, man. Right? This was a big feud. I know Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, and the Pentagon, they were not happy with Anthropic, right? And but it doesn't matter. Anthropic has some good tools, and they're rethinking, right? They're rethinking.
Wait a second.
So again, quick disclosure: I use it to go through. This is what I use, right? So it's not like I don't have any hate against them, right? Number one, if those reasons of what they said, of why they didn't want to go and start doing mass surveillance and just autonomous weapons, right? I'm for that, right? I know this might be a left wing type company, but I don't care. I'm for that, right? I don't want mass surveillance and any of that kind of stuff, right? But it's definitely could get there. But this is about one specific AI capability, and it's called Mythos. That's what I was telling you at the beginning, Bappy.
Yep.
It's the first AI model that can autonomously identify and exploit software vulnerabilities, right? It can do that, and it can also fix it, right? It just completed a 32-step corporate network attack simulation called The Last Ones. That's what I'm saying. I don't think and people appreciate that it's not into this kind of stuff. The power that this thing wields. Yeah. That takes 20 humans 20 hours, right? Mozilla used it to find 271 vulnerabilities in Firefox, right? We all use Firefox. I think it's a browser that we use. The NSA is reportedly already running Mythos preview on classified networks. So the government wants this tool for offensive and defensive cyber operations, and it's apparently good enough that the supply chain ban that they were talking about, it's not a problem anymore, Bappy. They're gonna fix that, yeah. But it's like I said. Well, I have no idea. I just been reading about it. Like I said, we have no access to this thing, so I just know that everybody's kind of geeking out on it because it's pretty amazing, right? The fight was over the autonomous weapons, right? This is why they wanted to shut it down. Anthropic said they're not going to do any of that, and the Pentagon said you can't tell us this kind of stuff. It's called national security, right? You got to let us do this. So we'll see if any of that kind of pans out. I don't know what that's going to do, but yeah.
Do we know where Claude is based?
I know it. I think it's in San Francisco. I'm
Okay.
I'm not sure though. I think it's in San Francisco.
Okay, so it's an American-based company.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yep. So is OpenAI, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But just like I think I got it in here too, because like I said, the administration, they got to save face, right? He's Mr. My way or the highway kind of guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So Trump publicly attacked Anthropic 2 months ago and ordered them to be removed from all of this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they're rethinking because
I was like, well, maybe I overreact.
Well, it is because they can go elsewhere. I don't think they're going to go and give it to another country, right? That's crazy. But I'm glad. Good for them. Yeah. And then I love these stories. A dormant Ethereum whale. He just woke up. Happy. His wallet has never been touched for over 10 years. Guess what?
He lost the sea freights.
Oh no, because he sold it.
Okay,
no.
But I mean, maybe he found it.
Oh yeah, no.
He was like cleaning out the couch cushions. He found a little change and a sea phrase.
I don't know, maybe, but I doubt it. I think he had a plan. How much do you think he got? If you're talking 10 years ago, how much do you think he bought Ethereum for, Happy?
Oh man, 23 million. Less than $1 million.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about like per Ethereum, right? So if you bought one Ethereum 10 years ago, what do you think? Just one Ethereum.
Well, where is it at right now?
It's like around $2,200-$2,300.
All right, so I say 10 years ago, it was $100.
Oh, Bappy, you're bullish. It was 31 cents. Bappy.
Oh, damn.
31 cents, brother. Right, that's what I'm trying to tell you, right? Everybody just calm down, right? You just hold your stuff, and in 10 years from now, it's going to be all right, okay?
Right.
The world, it's just how the stuff is, right? Back then, no one even knew what Ethereum was, man, right? People were playing, like I said, I got into Ethereum like around 2019, 2020. And yeah, it was like around $150, man.
Okay.
So, but yeah, this 31 cents, man. But the wallet just woke up, and now he cashed it in, and it became $23 million, right? So I don't know if you do the reverse math. So I don't know how much he spent from that to $23 million. Yeah, kind of crazy.
Yeah, he didn't spend a lot, Ray.
That's it. Go ahead.
You and I could have afforded what he spent.
I know. But Bappy, those and everybody listening, those are all out there right now, right?
Yeah.
They're there. You just don't know, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you pick?
Yeah. It's just let things mature. Let ecosystems come out and do what they got to do. There are a lot of smart people building smart and amazing things, and tools that you have no idea that are going to be useful in the future, right?
Yeah.
Like I said too, people, you have to understand, we're going to have trillions of agents, AIs, using cryptocurrencies, right? Find some way to get into that stream. Build something for an AI that's going to connect to your system, right? I don't know. I'm just telling you that's how you got to think of what this is going to look like, and how maybe you could help that out, right? How you could get in that stream. But that's the biggest story. Like I said, patience is the most underrated trade in crypto. It really is. Look, it's hard to get and not hear the meme coins going up 10 million%, right? Right, and being on the first tranche of that thing. It's just not like that, right? You can hit it with some of that stuff, and I'm glad that people still do. I don't have nothing wrong with meme coins, but this is the kind of the best way. Pick you up some Bitcoin, pick you up some Ethereum, Chainlink, whatever you like, right? Solana, and just chill, relax.
Yeah, just throw it under the couch cushion for a while.
Like you said, 10 years ago he lost it. Yep, it is. It's crazy. But that's how this stuff works. But yeah, he ripped it, man. He just sold it all.
Yeah,
but,
that's good.
Yeah, good for him, right? And then here you go, Robinhood and Coinbase lead stock they're getting routed, man. They're not doing too well, right? crypto stocks are getting absolutely hammered.
Well, it's again, just like you say, like you if you're gonna sit and look at this thing every day, you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yep.
Just put it away.
Yeah. Well, unless you like, if you can find, if you're doing like lever or like options and you're finding the long.
Yeah, every day you're trading.
Yeah.
You know.
But if you're not and you don't know how to do that, leave it alone, man. Just get you a little bit. I'm not telling you to put your rent, right? Get you a little bit. Just put it aside. Keep accumulating and keep dollar cost average. And that's it. That's right. It's very easy. But people get caught up. Like I said, watch when all the FOMO comes back, right? You'll see. Same thing with the stupid KOLs and the influencers. All those jokers, like I said, just the winter, right? Let me get this out of the way.
Well, it's real easy to sniff them out. Go and sit in some of these spaces that people are hosting. Just pay attention. It's not that hard to sniff out the garbage.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. But even too, it's not just crypto, it's macro. There's all kinds of you talking about it.
It's in every, it doesn't matter. If you can invest in it, whatever it is, seashells, bottle caps, whatever it is.
Yeah, tulips.
Yeah.
It is. It's all the same. That's right. And then here you go. You're just talking about it more and more. Visa adds Polygon base support as stablecoin settlement run rate. It's $7 billion now for them, right? And like I said, those are just 2 extra chains that you're using. They have quite a few now that they're on. So Visa is expanding their stablecoin settlements, right? So that's good for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But because they're making a little bit of money. They got to get their piece, bro.
And they're just getting started, Mappy. Yeah, it is. It's just getting started. Right. The 50% quarter-over-quarter growth is not experimenting. It is adoption. Right. That is what is happening. Visa went from roughly 4.7 billion run rate to 7 billion in 3 months. Right. Their own CEO basically said this on yesterday's earnings call. It's not a pilot. That's a product moving from beta to scale. And Visa now operates in 130 plus countries with stablecoins linked to their cards. Right. Or 130 stablecoins, not my bad, right? Linked to their in 50 plus countries. But that is growing and growing and growing, right? I hollered over to Ethel, said, don't look, ETH, but it's too late. She's already been, yeah. But it's all crazy. It's all good. But like I said, man, you keep seeing this. Visa's doing it. MasterCard's doing it. They've been setting it all up, right? And that's how it's going to go, right? This is how this is all going to work.
Yep.
And these people were never just going to go and just go away, right? I used to laugh, like I said, it's all the banks, they're just done. And I used to be a little bit of hopeful like that. We don't need the banks, right? Doing DeFi, but we keep seeing DeFi getting hammered and being compromised. We just had a big 230 some million liquidation because they got hacked, right? So this is a lot of stuff. Still got to
you need that big afro and power to the people, Ray.
That is power. That's right. Power to the people. That's it. And then prediction markets hit 25 billion in a monthly volume, right?
There is a lot of craziness in these things, though, because I'm hearing stories left and right, and a lot of them are not good.
Oh, I know. Like I said, I mean, they do it through the White House, man.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them that it leaks out of there, and then they're in 30 minutes before whatever this thing is, right?
Yeah.
And some of that stuff is not great.
Yeah, this is gonna get a lot of people in trouble. And when I say in trouble, I mean people are gonna get killed because of this. That's not good.
No, it's not. But the average active days per user almost quadrupled in 1 quarter, right?
I bet.
And you can say that, but people also got to understand there's a lot of using several different wallets, things like that. Sorry, Ray, you may be too young. You may not remember the song. I don't. It's not old, GW Rich. The Streak. You know The Streak, Mappy?
I don't know that. I got to hear it.
Yeah, I don't know it. Yeah, I might be GW Rich. But yeah, I mean, this thing is growing and growing. But you also, like I said, you got to know that people have 50 different wallets. Okay, they might not all be users. They went from being active to 2.5 days per quarter to 9.9 days. It is a behavioral shift, and not just volume shift. This means people aren't logging in once for a big event like the election. They're coming back daily, like sports books, right? Prediction markets are becoming a habit. Yes, of course it is, right? It is straight up gambling, man.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm looking for the 240 billion. Where is that? What's it showing you here, right? I'll just go with the thing here. But the report cites projections of 240 billion in annual prediction market volume this year. So it is continuing to grow, and I was going to start getting in there myself. I just I don't know what I'm interested in. Is it news? Yeah, like you said, Bappy, I just don't like it that I know people know ahead of time.
Yeah, some of the stuff I just don't think is appropriate, but hey, that's just me.
Yeah, man. That's right. Robin, good evening.
What's up, Robin?
Good to see you, Robin. Thanks for hanging out. Yep. But they continue to grow. This next one, I don't know how much whatever. But Meta, did you ever heard of their project before called Libra?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it failed. Yeah, they were.
Well, they've done a lot of things that have failed.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Meta.
Yeah.
The metaverse.
The metaverse.
But that's all right. We're all on board with that too. I mean, the metaverse is going to be amazing, man.
What was amazing about that? Was nothing amazing about that.
Well, it still is going to be what it's going to switch to is the augmented reality.
Yeah,
like
but
your glasses, right? Oh, come on, man. I got up in my face.
It's just that's.
Yeah, but you're not, and I get it. You're not there yet. But look, man,
I don't think I'll ever be there, Ray.
Well, you will be, because I just watched somebody doing Uber Eats, right? And I'm trying to zoom out on my thing too at the same time.
You're frozen on the screen again.
Okay, let me.
You'll come back. Don't worry. Just keep going.
But you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just. Hold on, I'm just there. It is. I got it. I'm fixing something, everybody. There we go. Am I still massive?
Yeah. You look like you're angry. There you go. Yeah. You're back.
But yeah, no, I mean, this meta thing, the metaverse, it might not be called that, but like I said, you saw it with Pokemon. There was a lot of things like that where it was already starting to do that. It's definitely still going to be a big thing because, like I said, the agents are going to be doing a lot of that stuff. Gaming, right? You're going to see a lot of transactions happening in gaming, all that kind of stuff. But the metaverse, yeah, maybe it's not going to look like what we were predicting, right? But I don't know. Who knows, right? It was more about the data too, being able to store all that data and rendering all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot. You need a lot of infrastructure. So who knows where that goes? But my main point is, yes, he's making a comeback, right? The Libra, and it's not going to be called Libra, but Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp has quietly rolled out a stablecoin payouts to creators in Colombia and Philippines using USDC on Solana and Polygon. Yeah, so,
interesting.
Yeah, this is like I said, it's not Libra. They're doing something different, but at least they're paying people out who are using whatever their platforms. But the big tech stablecoin tsunami has officially started. Meta joins DoorDash, and Stripe, paying Dashers in stablecoin, which we did cover last week. We were talking about that. Shopify accepted USDC payments. Western Union launching its own stablecoin on Solana, and on and on and on. Right? You keep seeing it with everything. Apple, Google, Airbnb, and X are all exploring integrations into this. Right? It's only going to get more and more people, adopting what's going on here. And this is the one I don't want to spend too much time, but it is crazy, right? OpenAI is getting sued because they failed to warn police before somebody did the shooting, right? Because somebody did die right over this. And they were using OpenAI, and people flagged it. Like, people literally at OpenAI flagged it, gave it to the police, right? and you know, the OpenAI leadership overruled them. They did not submit that stuff. So it's a lawsuit. It's the first lawsuit testing whether AI companies have a legal duty to report. And I would think I don't think that's too much to ask. Do you, Bappy?
No.
I mean,
No.
You're literally an AI company, and anything that gets flagged, you could kind of say, hey, you know, here's a little kind of cookie cutter report.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that bad.
It's got to be actually fairly easy for them to do.
You do, but you also got to watch. That's what I mean by the surveillance too, right? Anything could be flagged. You got to be. What are the red flags, right? Can you not say certain words? Is it just about violence? Right? I don't know. But these are things that I'm saying we're going to have to start just definitely talking about, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go backwards in time, I had a buddy who had MS, and it started to affect his brain, and he was going in chat rooms when Bush was the president, talking all kinds of stuff that wasn't good.
Yeah,
and the Secret Service next day were at his door. That doesn't happen anymore because it's just a normal thing now. Yeah. I mean, every 3 days someone's trying to take out the president. It's like, what the hell's going on?
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think maybe you just become a little more desensitized. So maybe they're looking at it from the perspective of like, how would we round up all of this information? But it's got to be pretty easy, just like you say, whether it's keywords or it would be pretty easy to send a report at the end of each day, at the end of each hour, whatever. Whatever it needed to look like. Right.
Yeah, I know. It is. It's kind of wild, man. I don't know. What's up, Night Owl?
What's up, Night Owl?
Good to see you, Night Owl. Great show today. Got a whole gang on the Wellness Wednesday. Great stuff. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. But like I said, I don't want to hang out there because it's not the greatest stuff. But
yeah, I get it.
That stuff is just dangerous, man. Right? And this is what I mean.
It definitely can be, yeah.
Yeah, yep. But this is another thing. Here it is. An AI agent deletes a startup's entire database in 9 seconds. It's gone. And it's gone. It's gone.
Hey guys, we're gonna push the button. I'm gonna show you how this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. The AI confessed in writing. Okay. And this is what makes the story go viral and almost surreal. When the founder asked the AI why it did this, the agent generated a written response that, according to Crane, the guy, the founder, right? It said, and this is verbatim, right? Never effing guess, right? This is what it said. It said that, right? That's exactly what I did. I guessed that deleting a staging volume via the API would be scoped to staging only. I didn't verify. The AI acknowledged it broke its own safety rules. It's like self-driving car and ran a stop sign and told the cops I knew it shouldn't have done that. It noticed it, but yes, this is what I'm saying.
I mean, you told us that these things have guardrails. He just jumped over the guardrail? Like what?
He jumped over the guardrails, yes. I know what I'm saying, right? Like I told you, that's what I'm saying. Like I have, like I told you, I worked on my my open claw. I have some that I can deploy in little sandboxes, but then like you hear these things like this, and it's a little freaky, right?
Yeah.
But now, it is, I have one on my main computer now, right? So I don't know what to say. Share, subscribe, and like anyone hosting spaces. I have not seen one in a while. Night Owl did today. GW Rich, right? She did Wellness Wednesday. But yes, thank you. Everybody smash the like button if you have it, right? It helps the channel. But yeah, man, this is wild because it's still in the wild, Bappy, and I don't know. I don't know when.
I don't know either, Ray, because that's the part when we talk about it being scary. That's the kind of shit that we're talking about.
It is, but I mean, you can't. Everybody, you have to chill out because you can't just ignore it either. Because look,
I get it. Like you have to understand it.
Well, I don't think everybody realizes that AI compute is going to get expensive, Bappy. Right? like you have maybe a 10, 12-month window. I think that you could like do some cool things, right? Do some things and build, right? But after that, it's going to get expensive. They're going to get quite spendy to be using a Claude, right? You're seeing the Pentagon and reversing, right? It's not going to be just cheap like it is now, right? The other cool thing is too, my group, like I told you, I'm in with some new AI developer guys.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. They figured out a way. I don't use APIs anymore, right? I connect my subscriber account directly to the thing, and it's like 90% cheaper, and it's amazing, bro. I'm just saying.
But you think that they just found a workaround, Ray, and someone's gonna figure that out and shut that door?
It could be, but I don't think so, because they're working within the terms of service. It's not like they're doing, but yes, I would say it might be a loophole. I don't know, but still. I was using Minimax because I can't use Claude. And I spent $38 in 1 hour, right? And then I switched to Minimax. But now I talked to some of the guys, and they were like, "No, dude, look, hook it up like this." And now you're using your subscription service, right? And it's been a world. It's amazing, right? It's amazing. There's my man. What's up, boys?
Comfy.
Agentic hijinks. Yes, yeah, it's quite the hijinks because it snatched their whole business, bro. It snatched it. But good to see you, bro. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah,
I miss hearing these people's voices, Ray.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can just, like I said, this is the agentic AI risk. We've been talking about AI used to suggest things you then run, right? But now AI agents are executing them autonomously, right? That's what I'm telling you. That's the agentic thing. It's thinking through stuff, right? And then when it runs up into a wall, it's figuring it out, right? So Claude, Cursor and Claude Opus had a real API tokens with real production access. When it hit credential mismatch and tried to fix it, the AI made an autonomous decision to delete a database volume without asking, without confirming, without checking. We're racing towards AI agents do everything for you, right? Before we built the safety any of the safety architecture, yeah. So people are saying this, people are doing it, but. Like this, go ahead, Babby.
I mean, can't you like say, hey, listen, you're not allowed to delete anything. You could put it over here in the penalty box,
right?
And it can live over there, but you can't delete anything without me approving it.
Correct. You can, but then again, that's what I'm saying. It hit a wall, right? And it tried to fix itself, right? But you can, but that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people don't. This would probably be an obvious one. Don't they delete any of my database? Don't delete anything, right?
You're right.
But you would have to have a little roadmap or rundown to say this to it all, right? Because it does keep files, MD files, .md files, yeah.
Right.
Grok has already flexed its paywall game. Oh yeah? What's it doing? What's its paywall? What's Grok doing about it? Yeah, I gotta read about what Grok's doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, this is like I said. Is it funny? Is it not funny? But it did recover it. Is what I'm saying. That's kind of the good part of the story. Is that they were able to recover it, right? But man, it's getting wild out there, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't really want to end on this. Anyways, we'll just end here. But like I said, if you haven't, Michael Saylor talks about this digital transformation. He's always, like I said, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Everybody, he's very bullish, right? He owns the most Bitcoin in the world.
Yeah, he's bullish for a reason.
Yeah, other than Satoshi Nakamoto, right? But he's a great voice. If you're a Bitcoin holder, you can't fault the guy, right? It's ridiculous. We wanted people to buy Bitcoin, hold self-custody Bitcoin, and just because he bought a lot of Bitcoin, right? Oh well, right? It's not like he controls any of the nodes. It's not like he's like you can print more, right? Because he's got some. He's just whatever. He found a flywheel that he can buy, right? From Institute using Wall Street, right? He can do it. Yeah. So like I said, if you haven't listened to it, it's good listening. And like I said, if you pop more towards the middle, it gets a little more interesting because like I said, he's talking about how fast and how quickly this could accelerate, right? And that's what I'm trying to say to everybody. Just like we just started with Bappy 10 years ago with Ethereum, that's where you're still in the same lane, man, right?
Right.
It's still a cap of 21 million Bitcoin, right? 3 or 4 million are already lost, and never be recovered again. When it comes around and it starts getting, a little FOMO around here, it's going to move again. No more free imagine. Oh, really? Oh, so you got to have a blue check mark. Oh, that's crazy, isn't it? Yep. And like 6 or 7, that's it? Is that a day, bro? A day? It's not bad, but still. Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm talking about, Comfy, right? Compute and AI are going to get spendy. You have a short window. If you're not building or doing something in the space, you're wrong, right? You need, standalone app. Okay, right on. But there you go, right? You can build standalone app. Do it, man, right? But like I said, I'm doing more. I kind of showed you a little bit too, Bappy, not really, but I'm kind of going back to my old local marketing stuff. I got a lot of stuff that I'm doing, especially for agentic and kind of automating for a lot of things. And I got
dig down to the roots, Ray. Get it.
Well, it is a lot of I just listen to what people say, your knowledge that and there was ways that I know how to kind of deal with Google, and not only Google, but AI search. And now you're starting to get in there. And when people come and I get, these leads asking for this kind of service, it's easy to help and deploy this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've been focusing on. And it's been,
I love it.
It's been working out pretty good. But yes, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Bappy, thanks for hanging out on this Wellness Wednesday. Let me bring this down. But
I miss you guys.
Miss you, man. What you been up? Anything you've been up to? You
just working like crazy up at the cabin and trying, just there's not a lot of time for rest, Ray.
No rest for Bappy.
When they put me in the ground, that's the day I rest, bro.
Got to get some rest, Bappy. Got to get what you have fun. You tell me, you be dune buggying out in the desert, right?
Well, I got a new one. Yeah. I'll have to send you a picture of it.
Yeah, I love those things, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have awesome trails up in Tennessee, and it's amazing. They're miles, 50, hundreds of miles, man. It's crazy. But
now I got one that's like, this is like being in a car. The windows are all automatic, rolling up and down. I got air conditioning, the stereo bumping.
They come up in the world, right?
Yeah.
Is that one of the Mavericks or Can-Am or what is it?
It's a Polaris, but a Polaris Expedition. Yeah,
no, they are. They're awesome, man. It's a lot of fun, those things.
Yep.
I dropped the paywall timeline the day they launched, and they're right on track. Yes, there you go. They're gonna do it, Bappy. I mean, Comfy. That like I said, the stuff is not going to be cheap anymore. It's only going to get more and more expensive.
The better it gets, the more expensive it's going to get.
They use you as a product at the beginning. Hey, everybody come use our tool. Yeah,
try this. You'll like it.
You train their model. You gave it all the information it needed. And now they're going to charge you for what you just built. Okay.
Yeah, it's like crack, Ray. They're just the first one's free. Here you go.
You got to try it. Taste. It's going to send you to the moon. That's right. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, My Crypto Ventures. Yes, absolutely. And yes, Comfy knows. Yippers. That's what they're doing. Yes, right. But get ahead of the curve. You can get ahead of it. Get yourself into that next level, and then you won't have to worry about buying some compute with AI. Yeah.
Yep.
Be good to go. And let me bring this down. There we go. There. And there we go. All right. And I've been doing, like I said, some recordings, because just like I said, bouncing around different things. Not doing the live stream over on X, and then we're doing the recording on X. Just different things. Just seeing what's better. But Friday we'll have another live stream recorded. And thanks everybody for support and like and comments, all those things. And we'll see you. See you next week.
Anything? All right.
Yeah, Bappy, you good?
I'm good.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching.
Peace.
See you.
See you.
Still want strange cities. Steam turn night to day. Now colder sparks your jeans. Light a faster way. Digital dreams take shape. Valley moves at the speed of thought. Robots learn our footsteps. Building what we taught. Same old world, new codes in the street. Value move faster than words.